Hello students, welcome back to Tejas classes. I hope you are all doing very well. First of all, let me congratulate all the students who have got through your first stage examination. Now it's time for prepare for our stage 2 examination which is scheduled on 1st April 2021. Admit cards already out, so I'll provide you the description link. If anyone has not downloaded, please go to the link and download your hall tickets. And in today's session we'll be looking into the paper 1. Okay, we have 3 papers in shift 2, that is the phase 2. So in paper 1 we have topic economic and social issues. So we'll be looking the most expected questions which are prepared by the experts thoroughly after analyzing all the previous year questions and questions from various examinations in the current period. So let's start our session. For starting our session, please like, share and subscribe our channel Tejas Classes. And also we are very active in our WhatsApp and Telegram group. This is a WhatsApp group and we have Telegram group also, where daily we will be getting a 55 to 60 questions on all the topics. So perfectly designed like a mock test. They will be getting the quizzes on different topics on PDF material for studying it. So please do join the WhatsApp group as well as the Telegram channel, exclusively free. There will be a no cost in that. You will be getting the free content and material. Please support us. Now coming to the exam schedule, phase 1 is completed, we will not look into that. And in phase 2 we have 3 papers, paper 1, paper 2 and paper 3. So it is a descriptive as well as online exam, descriptive and online exam. So first question, descriptive means whether a paper you need to write on paper or type on keyboard. Friend, you need to type on keyboard. No, there will be no pen and paper. You need to write your descriptive, that is the essays, on the keyboard itself. So in order to excel this exam or get through this, first important skill is your typing skill. Whether you have the knowledge, whether you are masters at writing the essays, writing in descriptive, that doesn't matter if you are weak in this typing skill. So please practice the typing in your home. If you don't have any keyboard facility in your home, please go to the internet center or any library for practicing it. This is very important, guys. Many students do the mistake in this only because they lack in the typing skill and they type very slowly. As a result, you lose the marks. So very important, do the practice of typing. Now, let's see the paper 1, economics and social issues. It is a 50% objective and 50% descriptive. That means the paper 1 will be having a 50% question, that is MCQs, and 50% you need to write it. See, 30 objective questions will be given and 6 descriptive questions, out of which you need to answer only 4 questions. 4 out of 6, and 100 marks you will be having a 120 minutes. 100 marks 120 minutes. And paper 2 will be having a 3 questions. Okay, this is a totally writing, that precise writing, and marks are 100 marks 90 minutes. And paper 3 the finance and management. So this is also same, 50% objective, 50% descriptive, and 30 questions and 6 descriptive, out of which 4 have to be answered. Same thing. So again 100 marks 120 minutes. So this is the basic pattern of your phase 2 examination. In today's session we'll be looking into that is first economic and social issues objective questions. In upcoming videos we'll be covering all these things. Okay, and tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'll be posting the remaining videos also. So please like, share and subscribe our channel and stay tuned. Now first question, refinance facility is provided by NABARD. Which institution can avail this facility? We all know that NABARD, apex body for financing in national, rural and agriculture. Okay, who is head of NABARD? We have studied in recent videos. Who is head of NABARD? Mr. Govindarajulu Chintala. Govindarajulu Chintala is the present chairman of NABARD, headquartered in Mumbai. So it gives the refinance facility, we all know that. So which institutions will avail? State cooperative banks, yes, they will avail. Regional rural banks, yes. Commercial banks, yes. So the answer is all of the above. So these banks avail the refinance facility from the NABARD. This is the second one, sorry. Which among the following committees suggested the concept of universal banking? Concept of universal banking. What is universal banking, guys? Universal banking is nothing but it is a bank where all the banking facilities are present under one roof. All banking facilities means the functions of retail bank, commercial banks, as well as investments, policies. So all these financial transactions facilities are covered in this universal banking. Such a bank is known as universal banking. And who is the which is the committee which has first introduced the concept of universal banking? So the answer is, it is Mr. R.H. Khan committee, option number B. His committee has recommended the universal banking. And one more question, very important, which is the first universal bank which has carried the universal banking operations? It is ICICI Bank, first universal bank of India. Now, Cartagena Protocol. The Cartagena Protocol that was adopted by member nations in the year 2001 under the Convention of Biological Diversity is related to which of the following? See, what is this Cartagena Protocol? Cartagena Protocol. Cartagena Protocol is nothing but an agreement. Okay, so it is an agreement which was made for safe transfer of LMOs. Safe transfer of LMOs. What is this LMOs? LMOs are living modified organism. Let me write for you. Living modified organism. So these are the biological creatures which have created through the genetics, through the advance of biotechnology. So in order to ensure the safe transport of these LMOs, we have this Cartagena Protocol. Recently we have this regarding this protocol news also, what it is. So this agreement has completed 20 years in 2021. This 2021, yeah. So in 2001 it has been proposed, came into effect. So it has completed 20 years. You might be expecting a question, which institution has completed 20 years of agreement in 2021? It is Cartagena Protocol. Very important. So, what is the answer? Answer is number 2. See, safe transfer, handling and use of living modified organisms. Fourth one, IMO is a specialized agency of the United Nations responsible for regulating shipping. Okay, IMO. Generally, we hear the news IMO, International Monetary Organization. No, IMO. Please see the question. Understand the question. It is which is responsible for regulating shipping. Regulating shipping means we have an organization that is maritime organization. So IMO is International Maritime Organization. What it is? It is an organization which is responsible for regulating the shipping across the world. When it was established in 1948 in Geneva and came into force in 1959. So what they're asking, the headquarters of IMO. Guys, did you observe? They are given the answer in the question only. See, 1948 in Geneva. So now wait, headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. Very easy and very important also. Next, which of the following program aims at enhancing community and private level sector involvement in government run elementary schools? So there is a program which encourages this private and community people for the development of government run elementary schools. And what are they and what is that? It is known as, I'll give a hint, guys. So this program is under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Comes under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Under this main program, this following program has been launched. What it is? The answer is option E, Vidyanjali. So Vidyanjali is a program which is aimed at enhancing community and private sector involvement in government run elementary schools. So who takes care of this? Which ministry? It is Ministry of Human Resource Development and Department of Science and Educational Literacy. So these are the ministries which are taking care of this Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. And the Vidyanjali is a program for community and private sector involvement in elementary schools. So the ministerial conference of WTO takes place once in every dash years. Okay. So World Trade Organization, WTO, World Trade Organization meetings, when they will take, what the for how many years they will take? So for every 2 years WTO meetings takes place, once in 2 years. Okay, for 2 years we have one meeting. So answer is 2, option number 1. So let me ask you another question regarding this topic. The World Trade Organization session, where it was held? First World Trade Organization session is held at Singapore in 1996. Question you can expect in the examination. And also the latest World Trade Organization session, where it was scheduled? It was scheduled in Kazakhstan 2020. Okay, so World Trade Organization meetings takes place once in every 2 years. GDP at factor cost. GDP, gross domestic products, we all know that what it is: total market value of finished goods and services in a country in a specific time period. So what they have asked, GDP at factor cost. GDP at factor cost. See, let me explain you with an example, taking an example. Let us take one person named Ram. Okay, so he plans to build a factory. So for building a factory, he needs a loan, he needs a money. So he gets a loan from the bank. So after getting a loan, he needs a land, that is place for building it, and he needs a labor for working also. Okay, and you need to pay different bills, electricity bill, water bill. So you need to pay all this for starting a company. So after paying all this, you need to the manufacturing process, and here comes the final product. Okay, here comes the final product. So in order to make one product, this particular person, that is a producer, he has to consider all these factors. So these are nothing but the cost incurred in satisfying these factors is known as factor cost. Okay, so after calculating this, adding this factor cost, so let me write for you. So this factor cost plus you need to take his profits also, right? So after taking his profits, he will be selling in the market at GDP at market price. So the final price, that is known as GDP at market price. Now they have asked the formula for GDP of factor cost. See how this market price is attained. Is GDP factor cost plus GDP factor cost plus taxes. So if he sells in the market, he need to pay the taxes, and you get the subsidies for the government, right? You get the subsidies from the government. So that equals to the GDP of market price. Is to factors cost plus factors cost include profits also, is profit, and taxes and minus subsidies, and the final it will be equal to the GDP at market price. Let me write clearly for you the total formula. GDP factor cost, FC represent factor cost. So what is it? Plus taxes, sorry, minus subsidies. As subsidies, you get the money from the government, so minus, and finally GDP at market price. So they are asking the formula for GDP FC, and send these tax and subsidies to the right hand side. GDP FC is equal to GDP market price minus tax plus subsidies. So this is the formula for GDP FC. So answer for this question is first option, GDP minus indirect taxes plus subsidies. Yeah, first one, GDP minus indirect taxes plus subsidies. Very important, guys. Please make a note of it. See, I am explaining clearly the terms also, so that you need not revise your other the basics also. So I am surely explaining all the basic terms which have come. So if anything which is missed, I will be giving a separate mind map. So please go through it. Okay. Now, per capita income is obtained by dividing national income. Per capita income. Per capita, what it is? Measure of amount of money earned by a person in a particular region. So the person's earnings is known as per capita income. And if we want to know the total nation's per capita income, then what is the formula? Per capita income. So earnings of total population. So total earnings, that is total income. Earnings are nothing but income. Total income by total population. So this is the formula for calculating the per capita income. So what is the answer? is obtained by dividing national income by total population. Where is total population? First option, total population of the country. Okay. Now, India's first mega coastal economic zone is to come up at which of the following ports? Very important, guys. Two or twice or thrice asked in examinations. So, where it was, Union government has proposed this economic zone in a coastal region, in which I am giving a hint for you. It is in Mumbai. So, which port is in Mumbai? The answer is first one, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust. So here the government has decided to set up an coastal economic zone. In the wake of Bhopal gas tragedy, the government of India enacted which of the following legislations? Okay, legislation nothing but an act is passed after this tragedy. What is about Bhopal gas tragedy? So a gas LPG gas company from which a gas has leaked, which led to death of many people. Very bad incident, guys. So after this, the government has decided to make an act such that providing the and safeguarding the environmental conditions. So that act is known as Environmental Protection Act 1986. Okay, Environmental Protection Act 1986 works under the decisions of United Nations Environmental Program. So apex authority of all environmental programs in the world. So these acts and follows the orders of this UNEP. Now the IMF is headquartered in IMF, International Monetary Fund. Very easy, guys. Where the headquarters of IMF is located? It is located in Washington DC. We have studied this regarding headquarters of national organizations in a national organizations video. Please go through it. Okay. And yes, we have completed this. Now, the literacy rate in India according to 2011 census is 74%, 74.04. What is the rural literacy rate according to the same? So, 2011 census is very important. You can expect one question from this topic. So, there is no alternate, there is no trick to remember. You need to remember all the figures. You will definitely expect one question from this census, guys, no doubt. They are asking the literacy or rural literacy rate according to 2011 census. What is the answer? Answer is 73%. Now, in which year Planning Commission was established in India? Very important and very easy. In which year Planning Commission was established? In the year 1950. The year 1950 Planning Commission was established, but recently very giant organization has replaced this Planning Commission, guys. Which organization? So on January 1st 2015, one organization has replaced this Planning Commission. Now this Planning Commission is not existing. What it is? It is Niti Aayog. Prime Minister is head of this, he regulates it. So Niti Aayog is replaced the Planning Commission. So 5 years plan also important. Please go through the 5 years planning of different years. So they'll be asking the reforms taken in this particular first 5 year planning, second 5 year planning, for respective 5 year planning committee, 5 year planning resolution and reforms. Okay, very important. Now, which among the following are called Bretton Woods twins? Okay, Bretton Woods twins, very important, guys. Usually we used to exchange our currencies. Different countries have different currencies, so we used to exchange of currencies with the gold. So with the gold we used to exchange the currencies throughout the world. But after World War II, all the countries which are affected by this, so they have decided to fix a exchanging rate. Okay, so they have decided to fix the exchange rate for this currency. As a result, the Bretton Woods agreement has been made, and what they did, they fixed a rate for exchanging currency rate with US dollars. As a result, now we all compare our currencies with US dollars. So this is the Bretton Woods agreement is the reason for fixing a exchange rate throughout the world. And they are asking which of the following organizations are called Bretton Woods twins, as because these two organizations are jointly, they are developed by this, that is founded by this Bretton Woods team. Option is first one, IBRD and IMF, International Monetary Fund. Now 15th one, the concept of weaker sections under priority sector was introduced on the recommendations of which of the following committees? Answer is Mr. Krishnaswamy committee. So in 19 1974, sorry, 1972. So Krishna Swamy committee, he has proposed the inclusion of weaker section. Okay, inclusion of weaker section in priority sector. As a result, so before this, the priority sector lending percentage was 33%. Okay, after this Krishna Swamy committee recommendations, it has reached to 40%. Very important. Now, in which year Tax Reforms Committee was constituted by the Government of India? Tax Reforms Committee, when it was constituted? Answer is 1991. 1991 Tax Reforms Committee. The mutual funds are regulated in India by which among the following? Very important, guys. Mutual funds are regulated by which of the following? RBI? No. SEBI. What is SEBI? Securities Exchange Board of India. Yes, the answer is number 2. SEBI is the regulator of mutual funds, stocks, bonds and various securities. The stock exchanges are also regulated by SEBI. They have given stock exchange regulated by SEBI is the apex authority for regulating this capital market. Now, the purchase of shares and bonds of Indian companies by foreign institutional investors is called. See, the people of foreign means the abroad countries, from people from foreign countries who invest in Indian companies. So this is an Indian company, from person from foreign and invested in this company. So that in particular investment is known as foreign direct investment, directly investing by the foreigner. See, answer is FDI. Purchase of shares and bonds of Indian companies by foreign institutional investors. FDI. Very important question, guys. Very, very important. Please have patience. I'll be explaining clearly. The term round tripping in case of foreign direct investments is related to which of the following? Term round tripping. What is mean by trip? Trip means to go around, right? Trip means to go around. See, round tripping means to go round. So let me explain, just a joke for you. Okay, see, we have a company in India. So the chairman of this company or CEO of this company, what he does, if he keeps the money of his from his profits in India, he need to pay the taxes. So to avoid those taxes, he sends the money to the abroad. Okay, to foreign. So through unofficial channels. So officially he can't send it. Through unofficial channels, what he does, we generally heard this Swiss bank, right? People generally earn their profits in Swiss bank to get saved by paying the taxes. So same way, they what they do, they transfer their profits through the abroad. And what actually they do, they bring back this money again to India, investing in various Indian companies. So Indian person he has company in India. What he does, he transfers his profits to abroad company. From abroad company, he brings back his money and invests in Indian companies through foreign direct investments. And why he does so? So any person, any FDI, that is a person doing a FDI as a tax benefits. What he has a tax benefits, for such as example like what he has, DTAA. What is DTAA? Double tax avoidance agreement. So in order to get these tax benefits, these people of India as will transfer their money to abroad, bring back the money in the form of FDI, invest in Indian companies. So what a round tripping means? Use of FDI funds out of country? No. Coming back of domestic money as FDI. Second option. Sorry. Second option. Coming back, option number B. Coming back of domestic money as FDI. Next question. Which of the among the following denotes the market capitalization of the company? Which of the following denotes the market capitalization of company? What is market capitalization, guys? So market capitalization means investment, building up money. Market capitalization, bringing money from the market. Market is nothing but financial market. So a company, so the market value of company. What company? So company which publicly trades. Market value of publicly traded company company's shareholdings. Okay, shareholdings. So the value of this is known as market capitalization of company. Let us go by the options. So current market value of authorized capital, no. Current market value issued shares, yes. Option number B. The current market value of publicly traded company of its issued shares is known as market capitalization. Now, which among the following is not a subsidiary of RBI? Very important, guys. Subsidiary of RBI is you need to know. Who is the governor of RBI? Is Mr. Shaktikantan Das. You all be knowing, just for your remembrance. So we have 4 subsidiaries of RBI. What are they? DICGC, Deposit Insurance and Credit Government Corporation. We have NHB, National Housing Bank, and one is a printing, no currency printing. What it is? Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudrana Private Limited, right? Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudrana Limited, and last one is NABARD. So these are the subsidiaries of RBI. Okay, subsidiaries means the organizations which work under this RBI. Now let us see the options. National Housing Bank, yes. NABARD, yes. Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudrana Limited, yes. CDB, no. CDB is not a subsidiary of RBI. Generally, what is CDB? Small Industries Development Bank of India. It is a CDB is an apex body for financing MSMEs. No, MSMEs means medium, small, and medium micro enterprises. Oh, small Industries Development Bank of India. Now, where are the headquarters of New Development Bank situated? New Development Bank. Have you heard this name? It's in India? No, it is New Development Bank. See, New Development Bank is also known as BRICS Bank. Is also known as, I'm giving you a hint. See, it is also known as BRICS. What is it? Is association of 5 countries. So what are they? Please mention in the comment section. Very easy. Please mention in the comment section if you know the answer. If you don't know the answer, please go and check, as it is very important. So New Development Bank is also known as BRICS Bank because this association has founded this New Development Bank. And where the headquarters is located? It is in Shanghai, China. Headquartered in Shanghai, China. Next question. What is market equilibrium? See, guys, what generally equilibrium means? Equilibrium means balance. Okay, equal on both sides. Generally, I am giving a example for you. Equilibrium means balance. Market means, so we are studying about the economy. The topic is about economic and social issues. So market means economic market, that is financial market. So in financial market, what we have, it is run by demand and supply. Okay, so total market, we have demand and supply. So maintaining a market equilibrium means what? They should be equal, that is demand should be equal to supply. So when it is equilibrium, it is known as market equilibrium. Market equilibrium. So option is number 3. Quantity demanded equal to the quantity supplied. Option is answer 3. Now, which of the following is not a part of the core industry? Which is a following is not a part. So not a part of the core industries. How many core industries we have? We have in total 8 core industries. What are they? They are electricity, steel, cement, and refinery, crude oil, natural gas, and what we have? Yeah, fertilizers, and one more thing. Yeah, most important, coal. So electricity, steel, cement, refineries, crude oil, natural, fertilizers, coal. So total we have 8 core industries. So let us go by the options. Electricity, yes. Steel, yes. Cement, yes. Agriculture, fishing, no. So these are not the part of the core industry. What is the option? Answer is option number 4 and 5. What is the aim of Pradhan Mantri Samman Nidhi Yojana? A question from the government schemes of India. See guys, the main topics, the topics which are mentioned in a syllabus, so at least one question from the topic will be coming. So either in the prelims or the mains, but surely one question from that broad topic. Let us see this. Pradhan Mantri Samman Nidhi Yojana. What it is about? It is about related to farmers. So what is this? Pradhan Mantri Samman Nidhi Yojana, a scheme introduced by government, the union government, in 2019-20 budget. So what it does, through this scheme farmers will receive 3,000 as a fixed pension, farmers who are 60 years above. Okay, farmers who are 60 years and above will receive a 3,000 rupees fixed pension, the monthly pension through the government, and the scheme is known as Pradhan Mantri Samman Nidhi Yojana. So answer is option number B, pension to the farmers. Now, which among the following is not the role of agriculture in the Indian economy? Guys, see, you might expect a essay topic on this also, the role of agriculture in the Indian economy. Very important topic, guys. Very important. Agriculture. So there's a maximum chances you might get an essay from the agriculture topic. So please go through the, prepare from the agriculture topic. Now, largest export provider. Agriculture is the largest export provider. No. Largest employment provider. Yes, through the agriculture we have many subsidiary companies. So yes. Provide raw materials industry. Yes. Contributes for capital formation. Yes, very much yes. So the answer is largest export provider. It is not the role of agriculture in Indian economy. Option number A. 27. Which among the following are kharif crops? Very easy. Which among the following are kharif crops? What are the options? Maize is a kharif crop, yes. Rice is a kharif. Groundnut is a kharif, yeah. Cotton is also a kharif. So all these are the kharif crops. Answer is option number D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Very easy question. Next. Which institution implements the Essential Commodities Act? Which institution implements the Essential Commodities Act? Guys, very tricky question. See, answer is, sorry, options is NABARD, state government, central government, SFAC. Generally, many people will answer the answer as, one second, answer as central government, right? The answer is central government, which implements the Essential Commodities Act. But you are wrong. Yeah, you are very wrong. As head government, central government does not implement the Essential Commodities Act. It only notifies it. Okay, it only notifies it, and who implements it? The state government implements it. The state government is responsible for implementing the Essential Commodities Act. See, very important. Who is known as the father of Yellow Revolution in India? Father of Yellow Revolution in India. So Yellow Revolution is related to what? Related to increase in production of oil seeds. So Yellow Revolution is about production of oil seeds. And when it was started? It was started in the year 1986. Okay, 1986, Yellow Revolution. And who is considered as the father of Yellow Revolution of India? It is Mr. Sam Pitroda. Option number 2. Mr. Sam Pitroda is known as the father of Yellow Revolution in India. 1986, oil seeds. 30th question. Which among the following can result in demand pull inflation? Let's go by the options. See, if we increase the subsidy on LPG, what will happen? If we increase subsidy on LPG, people will be saving some money. Okay, so in order, as a result, what will happen? As a result of saving more money, more demand will be, which will results in demand pull inflation. Okay, and increase in fuel prices. Increase in fuel prices will cost people more money, so they spend more on the expenditure. As a result, what will happen? It will result in cost pushed inflation. What? Cost push inflation. So option number 2 is not. First one is, yeah, first one is right. Let us see the decrease in income tax rate. Yes, decrease in income tax rates definitely saves some money for the people. Again, rising to demand pull inflation. So the answers are 1 and 3. What is the option? Option number B. Yeah. Now, narrow banking. What is meant by narrow banking? Narrow banking is nothing. Narrow means small. It is limited. Means the banking limits its operations only to the risk-free sectors. Okay. So it functions only in these risk-free categories, so that there will be no fear of loss for them. So it is known as narrow banking. So banks lending only to the risk-free sectors is known as narrow banking, such that there will be no problem relating to asset liability mismatch, and their quality of assets remain intact, okay, without leading to with these emergence of substandard assets. Okay, so this is the narrow banking. See, 32 question. If indirect taxes in an economy are increased, then which of the following can occur? See, we have seen these indirect taxes in the what GDP at factor cost question. See, right? See, if indirect taxes increase, then what will happen? Let us see the option. GDP at factor cost increases. GDP at factor cost increases. No, it is not dependent on that. GDP at factor cost decreases. No. GDP at market prices increases. Yes. GDP at market price will be increasing, as a GDP factor plus direct taxes add to the for the market added minus what subsidies is equal to the GDP at market price. We have seen the formula. And GDP at market price decreases. No. So the answer is only option number 3. What it is? Option number 3. See, I'll give you a formula for your remembrance. Okay. What is GDP at factor price? What is the formula? We have formula of indirect taxes plus GDP market price minus taxes plus subsidy. See, we are asking a relation of GDP of factor cost and indirect taxes. Okay, so there is an what happens? There is a direct relationship. So option number 3. Equity market instruments helps in financing a firm. Which of these is or are equity market instruments? Okay, equity markets are helps in financing a firm. Okay, we have these, what we have bonds, we purchase the shares. These are equity market instruments. So what are the option answer for this? Answer is shares. Okay, these are the equity market instrument which helps in financing a firm. The answer is shares. Now, in which among the following year was liberalized industry policy? Liberalized means reducing the conditions in India, which was announced first time. So in 1991, this liberalized industry policy was introduced. Liberalized industry policy was introduced. Very, very important, guys. Before 1991, what happened? So for starting an organization or starting a company, it needs the permission of the government, which has reduced the spirit of many manufacturers or many businessmen. So as a result, it led to the backwardness of Indian industry. So liberalized industry policy 1991. 35. Increase in aggregate output of goods and services. Okay. If aggregate output of goods and services increases, as a result real GDP is also increases. If GDP increases, what will happen? Economic development. So economic development, it leads to economic development. Yeah, question number 36. A situation in when all the people in the working age group are actually engaged in some gainful employment. What it is called? So what it is called? People who are engaged in a condition which all are able to doing is work. So that condition is known as full employment. Simple, easy. So we have same, yeah, so sorry, wrongly printed. So full employment is the answer. Now LPG stands for, so please friends, don't tell that it is liquefied petroleum gas. Yes, you can guess that, but make sure that the keywords present in the here. No keywords are present, so you can go for LP, liquefied petroleum gas, and other abbreviation in the options also. But when they are given in the regarding a keyword, so please concentrate on that. Now LPG stands for what? LPG stands for liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Okay, what it was? Actually, it was a very big model of economic reforms in India in the year 1991. I have said no liberalization now, just now. So liberalization, privatization, globalization. Where it is? First one. Okay, on option number 1. Yeah. What is 3E in economy? So it's my mistake. I should write in what is 3E in economics or economy. So what it is? Answer is used for energy, economy, and environment. What? Energy, economy, and environment. Option number 1. What it actually is, it describes as the relation between them. Okay. So 3 R's also we come to know. See, 3 R's. What are they? Reduce, recycle, reuse. See, you might have seen these on various dustbins. Reduce, reuse, recycle. So 3E stands for energy, economy, and environment. Now, which of the following energy resources seems inexhaustible? Very easy. Which of the following energy is inexhaustible means which never exhausts, that is which never gets empty. What it is? Natural gas, yeah, it exhausts. Coal, burning exhausts. Sun, does it exhaust by doing something? Actually, no one is there to exhaust the sun's energy. So answer is option number 3. Very easy. Which of the following best describes green economy? Which of the following describes a green economy? Generally, guys, what is a green economy? Green economy means we have a low carbon, that is a low carbon emissions. We have a socially inclusive economy, very good resources, and with the society being consciously involved. It is people are generally caring for the environment, and these are all known as the green economy. So taking a measure development in the field of environment. Let us see the options. High carbon, resource inefficient. Wrong. High carbon leads to ozone layer depletion. Very wrong. And low carbon, yes, resource efficient. Yeah, we should have a much number of resources. Socially inclusive economy, yes, people should be what they should be. They should be conscious about the environment. Yeah. And third option, low carbon, resource inefficient. No. Fourth option, a high carbon, again wrong. So option is a low carbon, resource efficient, and socially inclusive economy is generally described as green economy. Now, what are the 3 pillars of sustainable development? What are the 3 pillars of sustainable development? So what are the options? Very easy, guys. Sustainable development I have explained you clearly. What is it? Energy, economy, and environment. Where it is? Energy, economy. Fourth option, energy, economy, environment are the 3 pillars of sustainable development. Now, the total sum of goods and services produced in a country in a year minus depreciation is called. Question about the formula. See, in economy, first by heart the formulas or remember the formulas, guys. Make a list of the formulas as soon as this video ends. Go through it. So if you are well versed with the formulas, then definitely this type of questions you can easily attempt. Now let's see the question. The total sum of goods and services produced is GDP minus depreciation. Okay, from the GDP what we get? We get net domestic product. GDP minus depreciation, we get net domestic product. Gross domestic product minus depreciation is equal to net domestic. Answer is fourth option, net domestic product, option number D. Now, under the Niti Aayog 15 years innovation plan, 15 years vision plan, 3 years action agenda is created to boost economic growth. Okay, under Niti Aayog 15 years vision plan, a agenda was created, which is the action agenda to boost economic growth. So the duration of 3-year action plan is, so this action plan was designed for 3 years. And what is the duration? It is in 2017 to 18 to 2019 to 20. Option number 1. Okay. Yeah, the second nationalization of commercial banks in India took place in, very important guys. Second nationalization of commercial banks in India took place in, okay. So let me please tell me in which year the first nationalization took place. In which year? See, in 1969. See, 14 private banks were nationalized. 14 private banks were nationalized. Okay, this was the first nationalization of banks in India. Now they are asking the second nationalization of commercial banks. The answer is 1980. In 1980, the second nationalization of commercial banks took place, where in year 6 banks were nationalized. In first phase, 14 national banks. In 1980, six banks, private banks were nationalized. Now, World Economic Outlook is released by, see guys, questions and reports is also very important. So which organization reports which report, which organization publishes which report, so very important. World Economic Outlook is released by, very important, International Monetary Fund. So International Monetary Fund is responsible for publishing this World Economic Outlook. See, these IMF this publishes World Economic Outlook biannually. Okay, biannually, 2 times in a year. So this report is published by International Monetary Fund. Now, which of the following about says is incorrect? First of all, tell me what the says is. What is the full form of says? Says is Special Economic Zone. Special Economic Zone. So what actually special says is, in this says no manufacturing activities are allowed. So no manufacturing. It is a special economic zone where the business and trading laws are different from the rest of the country. So we have various laws for the business, right? But in this zone, the special economic zone, laws are different, and the manufacturing, trading and service activities are allowed in CEZ. Okay. So the answer is option number P. No manufacturing activities are allowed in CEZ. Which among the following was the first bank purely managed by the Indians? Question from banking. Which institution, which bank was purely managed by the Indians? Okay, see guys, the first bank with limited liability. So we have one bank which is known as Audh Bank, Audh Commercial Bank. So this was a bank, this was also managed by Indians, but with limited liability. Okay, but it failed around in 1957 or 1958. I'm not sure about the year. So it stopped its operations. But there was another bank which was purely completely managed by Indians, and that bank is the biggest bank now. It is known Punjab National Bank. This is a bank which is completely purely managed by our Indians. Okay, where it was established? It was established in Lahore in the year 1895. So Punjab National Bank was the first bank purely managed by Indians. Option number 2, established in Lahore 1895. Now, which 5-year plan is also known as the liberalization of economy? See, I have said you 5 years plan topics are very important. So in which 5-year plan is also known as liberalization of economy? Answer is 8th 5th year plan. Okay, so who was the finance minister of that time? I guess our 8th 5th year plan was around 1991 to 1992. Yeah, who was the finance minister at the time? Dr. Manmohan Singh. Dr. Manmohan Singh. He was the finance minister in the 5th 5-year plan session. In the 8th 5th year plan is also known as liberalization of economy. Now, in which city the headquarters of Coal India Limited is located? Very important. Coal India Limited headquarters, what it is? It is a refining company headquartered in Kolkata, West Bengal. Who is the Chief Minister of West Bengal? Didi. Didi, nickname of CM. Mamata Banerjee ji. Miss Mamata Banerjee. So this Coal India headquartered in Kolkata, Coal. So this way you can remember Coal. When was Coal India Limited established? It was established in year 1975. Yeah. So in headquarters of Coal India was limited established in 1975. Now let's see the last question of today's session. Guys, please, we have gone through top 50 questions. That almost we have covered nearly 70 to 80 questions through these 50 questions. So these are maximum enough for your preparation, but I'll try to make another video which I'll bring another 50 questions for these economic and social issues, such that you will cover entire questions on economic and social issues, and you can excel in the examination in this paper 1 objective field. Okay, now last question: what is the maximum time for which call money is borrowed? What is the maximum time for which call money is borrowed? See, what is call money, guys? Call money is nothing but it is a money which is borrowed for a very short time. In a money market, it is the money which is borrowed for very short time. It is generally borrowed for 1 day. For 1 day, when we borrow money, it is known as call money. It is generally a transaction between the Reserve Bank of India and the various banks of India. See, the notice money is when the borrowing is up to 14 days. Call money 1 day, and for when we return it for 14 days, it is known as notice money. Okay, so with this we have completed a most expected top 50 questions on economic and social issues for RBI grade B phase 2 examination. So guys, in upcoming sessions we'll be looking into the paper 2 and paper 3 and how to attend it with strategies. So please like, share and subscribe our channel, and for more videos on different competitive examinations, please subscribe our YouTube channel as well as Telegram and WhatsApp channel. The links will be provided in the description. Once again, wish you all the best for your examination. I wish your dreams come true and you clear the phase 2 examinations. So I will be the first person to be happy for you after you clear your examination. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.